I know we're missing a few folks. Normally we start with bill introductions, and I know there are two coming, but neither one of those individuals are currently here. So we'll go ahead and move past that for now and go to approval of the minutes for January 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th. Those have been mailed out. Were there any corrections that needed to be made? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion, please. Try that again with a microphone on.
I move that we approve the minutes for January 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th.
Very good. Seconded by Representative Smith, Eric Smith. Got it. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say no. Seeing none, minutes are approved. Thank you. Okay, well, seeing our folks still not here, we'll go ahead and move into our hearing on House Bill 2214, and we'll ask Natalie to give us an overview.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 2214 changes the name of the Larned Correctional Mental Health Facility to the Larned State Correctional Facility. It also removes references to facilities that no longer exist. So Section 1 amends KSA 755202. That's the section that provides for the definitions related to the Department of Corrections. Right now, there's a definition of correctional institution, and we're making some changes there. So the reference to Larned Correctional Mental Health Facility is changed to the Larned State Correctional Facility, and then references to Osawatomie Correctional Facility and the Toronto Correctional Work Facility are removed because those facilities no longer exist, and then a reference to any juvenile correctional facility or institution is added. Section 2 amends KSA 7552-167. That's the definition section in the statutes related to the public-private partnerships for correctional construction projects. That section also has a definition for a correctional institution, and there we're actually removing the substance of that definition, and we're replacing it with a cross-reference to KSA 755202. And okay. I can take any questions.
Any questions for Natalie Committee? All right, seeing none, we'll welcome our sole proponent, Randall Brown, Executive Director, Public Affairs, Kansas Department of Corrections.
Good afternoon. I almost said morning there. Sorry, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Again, Randy Bowman, Kansas Department of Corrections. Thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today and bring forth this proposal that we approached the chairman, and he was gracious enough, as always, to help us with bill introduction for this. Natalie covered the substance of the bill, so I thought what maybe I could contribute just quickly is just a little history of that particular facility and why we think this name change should happen. So the Larned Correctional Facility was out of a 1989 lawsuit against the state of Kansas for how the state of Kansas was managing its resident or inmate population back at that time. It was about the era where the state of Kansas started adding and building significant new facilities because populations were increasing. And out of that lawsuit, there was an agreement that there would be a specific dedicated facility constructed. That was a 150-bed facility when that conversation was occurring in 1989. That was then constructed basically in 1991 and opened in 1992. Then as we go through time, as prison populations continue to grow in the state of Kansas, we're not different than anywhere. That was a national trend that was going on. Additional units were added over time, and then in 2016 we closed what was called the Larned Juvenile Correctional Facility that was on those same grounds. Thanks to Senate Bill 367 and reforms, we were able to close that facility. It sat dormant until we hit the pandemic because we didn't really know what to do with it. And then in the COVID pandemic, that being small units with about 10 cells per unit, we were able to move adult males in there and keep them segregated out instead of being in dormitory style housing. So that allows us to close the west unit on that campus. All of that net today, there's a 614-bed facility being operated at the Larned Correctional Facility currently. And as the bed size grew and the needs of the system grew, so did the mission of that facility, but it had been identified and labeled the Larned Correctional Mental Health Facility back from its inception. But over time, it has served many other populations. Then in 2016, the decision was made to move the specialized unit from that facility to the El Dorado Correctional Facility the primary driver behind that being proximity to available workforce with those skills. Then we worked for a period of time. We had a specialized 18 to 25 population out there for a year or two. Today, it is functionally like our other male facilities, with an average age for the residents out there at the end of last year of 40, which is the same as the statewide average, and range of about 38 to 42 for our other facilities. So our hope is that you and your colleagues, and then eventually the Senate, might concur with us that the name mental health in the title of the facility just isn't appropriate for the mission anymore. And then offered you to, we do get some feedback from time to time from either residents, their families. I've even had media approach me about why we named this a mental health facility. That's not the purpose of it. So it just creates a little confusion for everyone out there, and sometimes confuses it between the KDAD's operated facilities on that same campus. So an effort to make it a little clearer for everyone, we hope, and I would certainly stand for questions, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Randy. So just a thought, and I had kind of a last-minute citizen from the area sends me an email and shared with me his concern that it would still be very confusing considering there's the Larned State Hospital there, and we're going to have no Larned State Correctional Facility. And so I wasn't sure if you were absolutely set on that new title, if there was some specific to it. Or, now, I'm not saying that I would entertain this either. I just am raising it that there was some concern brought to my attention, and so suggestion would be something like Fort Larned Correctional Facility or something different. I don't know, it was just a thought.
The thought, yeah, Fort Larned had been in our dialogue over the last 2 or 3 years as well. We landed at Larned because it matches the other facilities, and then state came in to be just to make the acronyms make sense, because we have the Lansing Correctional Facility. So S was a way to put LSCF if this were to go forward versus LCF.
Makes sense. I just wanted to raise the point. It was just a conversation from one person out there. So, committee, other questions for Randy? I say you got off pretty good today.
Thank you all.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you'll make it up another time.
I'm sure we will. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
All right, committee. Are there any other proponents, opponents, or neutral that wish to testify? All right, seeing none, we'll go ahead and close the hearing on House Bill 2214. And we will return to that item, request for bill introductions. And we'll start with Representative Slingensiepen, who has a bill introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is from Representative Jason Probst, who would like to have read in 23 RS 0136. This removes fentanyl testing strips, including GHA and ketamine testing strips from the definition of drug paraphernalia.
Very good, committee. Any questions? Any opposition? Seeing none, we'll get that request made. Representative Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have, on behalf of Representative Wagner, who was going to introduce, but had to get to committee, 23 RS 1020. This is a bill that we've heard before, or those of us who were here last year heard on this. It's a bill regarding permissive inference and rebuttable presumption. Yep, back to that one. So if that's not a...
Very good. Any questions, committee? Any, oh, go ahead.
Just what that means.
Well, how about we schedule a hearing and have that conversation? I can tell you that we did request the Judicial Council review this topic because it was an interesting conversation last year. And so this bill is as a result of the Judicial Council meeting and making a recommendation. So if there's no objection to that introduction, we'll get that introduced. All right, thank you very much. All right, committee, we are now going to proceed into final action on House Bill 2114 and ask Natalie to give us an overview.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 2114 renames the Joint Committee on Corrections and Juvenile Justice Oversight in honor of Representative J. Russell Russ Jennings, and it also requires the committee to monitor the implementation of juvenile justice reforms.
Any questions, committee? All right, seeing none. Are there any discussion or amendments as it relates to House Bill 2114? All right, seeing nothing there, do I have a motion as it pertains to House Bill 2114? Representative Eric Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that we pass HB 2114 out favorably for passage.
Very good. Do I have a second? Representative Smith, Adam Smith is our second. Committee, any further discussion on this bill? All right, seeing none, all in favor of passing HB 2114 favorably say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. All right, the ayes have it, and we'll get that read in. Votes requested to be recorded. Schlangen-Siepen, Heiberger, as well as Carmichael. Okay, Representative Carmichael.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In view of the special nature of this particular legislation, it might be one occasion where, absent an objection, we might ask that the Secretary show a unanimous ballot. But if there's anybody concerned, we probably wouldn't need to do that. But if everyone agrees that it's the right thing to have done and would like just the notation in our that it was a unanimous ballot.
Does anybody object having their vote recorded as such? Nope. Nor do I. Sounds good, even though I don't vote. But still, very good. Yes, I can, actually. Thank you very much, committee. Well, with that, kind of a short today. So we're going to be adjourned for today, and we'll pick things back up tomorrow, same time, same place.